offensively at any time. And you know, it's unfortunate. You know, I thought we were a step slow in a lot of, you know, our cutting, our decision making, our urgency level on both sides of the floor. And give Merrimack credit. Obviously, they came out and controlled the tempo and, you know, made some adjustments from the first game, and we weren't able to counter those with our own. So disappointing lesson, I guess, that we'll have to learn and try and grow from.
Players spoke to the pace was something they adjusted from the first game. Did you see that? And I mean, you shot 45% against their zone last game. You know, it dipped in the first half. What would you attribute to that?
Again, our pace offensively, I thought was poor. You know, we got a lot of opportunities to drive in the first game. You know, I thought we were slow to organize. I thought we were slow in our cuts. You know, guys were holding the ball much longer than they did in the first game. You know, the ball was sticking instead of being like quick, urgent with their decisions, which we did in the first game and got a lot of really good opportunities. You know, I thought there was you know, we'll go back and watch, but I thought there was a handful of times we could have thrown the ball into Yanis or thrown the ball into the paint even more than we did in the first half. You know, we took a couple threes where the ball never went inside the three-point line. Those are the things that we talk about not trying to do, because you fall into the trap and they just suck you into, you know, shooting a contested jump shot. And you know, probably the way that we shot it last weekend is a little fool's gold. You know, you kind of come back down to your averages. But I think sometimes players don't always believe in fool's gold. I think that those things are just going to continue forever.
Did you feel they took Josh out of the game at all? I mean, he said he got the same shots he always gets.
He got some clean looks. You know, I thought he got some clean looks. You know, I thought he did, and you know, we trust he's going to make those for sure. You know, I thought there were some times where, you know, he was open on a couple opportunities that we missed him on. Again, decision making, right? One of those last possessions late, we got to the high post. There was a scramble. You know, Josh was open at the top of the key. We kind of passed on it. You know, I thought that would have been a time to get him the ball. And then coming down the stretch late game, you know, a couple backdoor cuts hurt us. Missed free throws, a couple turnovers, stepping out of bounds. You know, those are things that you know, really are unfortunate. And I think, you know, it's the stepping out of bounds things is tough because they keep moving the line back, but they keep, you know, not moving the out of bounds line back. So, you know, your spatial relations are a little bit different, and Dante did it twice. So those kind of things hurt us.
You've talked before about how Josh, when he gets going early in games, it kind of gets everybody going. Is this, you know, kind of maybe the challenge is when he doesn't hit? I mean, I know he hit the early three, but when he's not necessarily going how he always is it a challenge for you and the team in general to make sure that the offense still keeps going? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always trying to just generate that energy, right? And I didn't think we had enough guys with that energy, you know, that urgency, to be able to overcome poor shooting, you know, and that's probably more realistic of conference basketball than the games that we had last week. And again, I think you just want to believe that it's going to be easy when every game is going to be a challenge. Every game is going to be hard. If you ever get games where you are able to have, you know, double-digit wins, well, congratulations. But those things don't come along very often. And you know, I don't know if we prepared ourselves like that, right? I don't know if we thought that they were going to come out and really be, you know, as methodical as they were, do as good a job as they did of just controlling the tempo of the game. And you know, that second half, they shrunk the second half pretty quick because, you know, they're holding it to under 10 seconds of shot clock, and then they're just going one-on-one on somebody, right? And that comes down to, and there's not a whole lot of adjustments you can make other than try and get some different bodies in the game. But you know, they made a couple of really big drives, you know, right from the top of the key that we didn't do a good job of moving our feet.
Obviously, their win over Northwestern is what people talk about they've done this year. They've made a pretty good mark on the league, don't you think?
Without a doubt, they're 5-1. I mean, they're tied for first in the league right now, so they're 5-1. You know, and again, all the games have been like that, right? Every one of the games they've been in have been similar situations to that. You know, Bryant, Mount St. Mary's, even Central Connecticut was 6-8 points, right? So they're used to kind of being in those games that are, you know, so important down the stretch, and having a guy like Javaris Hayes who, you know, made some of those plays late in the game, you know, really helps you because, you know, he can pass, he can finish, he can create stuff when there's not really a whole lot going on.
And the guy who's leading that is someone obviously you know very well, and Joey Gallows. It's just the success he's having here. It doesn't surprise you. I mean, it probably doesn't surprise you, just the kind of guy he is, the kind of coach he was with you. What was your experience having him on your staff?
It was great. You know, Joe and I thought we worked, you know, really well together. You know, I've said it before, he's one of my closest friends, and you know, we talk all the time. You know, we talk even, you know, I talked to him Thursday after their Bryant game. You know, and we just, you know, constantly are in communication. You know, not even basketball stuff. family stuff. And, you know, it's not a surprise to see what he's doing. You know, he's got a group of guys that believe in their system and their style, and you know, he sells it to them. And you know, they play hard as anybody in our league. You know, they buy into, you know, the execution of their offense. They have great timing, great passing, great cutting, and they don't beat themselves, right? And you know, when you can defend the way they're defending, you know, when you can execute the way they're executing and not make mistakes, you're gonna have a chance to win a lot of games, and that's what they're doing.
He probably knows your style pretty well, you'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's changed over time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that, you know, like, you know, some of the stuff that they're doing on offense is you know, very unique to, you know, what he likes, and but they're executing it really well, and they have pieces that fit into it well, and you know, it's a credit to him and his staff, you know, the kind of job they're doing in their first year of Division I.
Yeah.
In 48 hours, you'll be back here against Sacred Heart. What, I guess, how do you view that 2-day turnaround? Is it nice, given what just happened, that you guys could, you know, maybe put this in the past, you know, hopefully from your perspective? Or?
Yeah, it'll be a great challenge for us, right? It'll be a great litmus test of how tough we are. You know, we sat on some wins for a week. Obviously, didn't come out and play the way you needed to play, and so now you got to sit on a loss, you know, with a quick turnaround against a really good, aggressive scoring Sacred Heart team, team that was picked second in the preseason poll. So you got to really wash this thing off pretty quick, and it's got to fuel you to come back and prepare yourselves better and get locked in, and you know, have a productive day tomorrow, and then earn the right to go out on the court and compete and give yourself a chance to win on Monday night.
What was the challenge from your perspective, making sure that they're ready for? Because obviously Sacred Heart is a tough opponent. So
yeah, it's all mental, right? It's all mental, right? Everything in this game is mental. You know, if it was purely physical, you know, I think we had physical advantages at you know, different positions tonight, but we weren't there mentally, and so it's always mental, right? How quick you can get back to figuring out what the most important things are, right? Keeping the main thing of defending, of rebounding, of getting great shots, right? Executing offense with pace. You know, we're going to see a lot of zone on Monday night, right? They do some funky stuff as well, so we got to be able to handle it. We got to be able to play together, right? Sometimes against the zone, you can't script stuff as well, so you got to be able to make some of those reads. You got to be able to make execute some concepts, you know, time and time again to find some of the right shots, and that's the hard part sometimes against zone. You know, everyone always talks about there's a zillion man plays, you know, and there's fewer zone plays, and that's because not as many people play it, right? So you don't see it all the time. I think if everyone played 2-3 zone, there'd be a zillion zone plays, you know, and a few man plays. But you know, a lot of the teams in our league play zone. We've done well against zone this year. Today we just didn't have that pace and that pop to the concepts that we're trying to execute, and a lot of that's just pure mental engagement.
You're a third of the way through NEC play, and Dante is someone who really, if you look at it, is up there for one of the most improved players in the league. From what you've seen, you know, what is really attributing to this jump from year 1 to year 2? How much is he kind of leading this offensive production you've put forth this year? And then also just how, you know, John doesn't have to be the primary ball handler anymore. He's benefiting from it. How is AJ benefiting from, you know, what he's doing this year?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, Dante, you know, he didn't have the luxury of being able to come to summer school before his freshman year, and so he was, you know, kind of a little bit behind some of the other guys that were in summer school. But you know, I think a lot of it's just been him working, right? Him gaining strength, him getting stronger, him becoming more confident. You know, last year you saw flashes of this. You know, I think the grind of the year as a freshman wore him down a little bit, and I think he really took on the challenge of getting stronger, getting his body ready, and I think he's just gained confidence because he works hard, right? He stays in the gym. He's a competitor every day in practice. Everything he asks him to do, he's going to do to the best of his ability, and that's, you know, a recipe for growth. It's a recipe for development, right? Some guys that, you know, try and, like, you know, put their own special sauce in that recipe, they don't develop as well, right? And you know, our staff loves coaching him. He's tough as nails. I mean, you just see, you know, his ability to kind of defend the ball, his ability to push it, you know. And again, no one's perfect, but you know, his intentions are perfect. You know, that he's always trying to make a team play, and we were on him a lot this summer about being more aggressive to shoot and score. You know, I think again it opens up other opportunities for people. The same with John. You know, I think the two of those guys are doing a nice job of handling ball handling responsibilities. I think it's nice for John at times to be able to be off the ball and be able to look for his shot as well. And hopefully that will keep working for us for the rest of the year.
Thank you, Coach.